All right, number 10. Number 10. Lines K and L are parallel. So here's line K and here's line L. It's like a little cursive E kind of, but it's an L. These lines are parallel to one another. So reminder, parallel means that the lines will never intersect one another. They will always stay the same distance away from one another. And then we have line M here. This is our transversal. It is cutting right through those parallel lines and is creating some very fun angle measurements. This is telling us that the measure of angle ABC is 161 degrees. Okay, so angle A to B to C is 161 degrees. That's a terrible degree symbol, but hey, we've got it, right? All right. Okay, so 161 degrees. So now we're going to use that measurement and our knowledge of vertical angles and then also the angles that form with parallel lines cut by a transversal to figure out the angle measurements of the following. So angle E to F to B. Okay, so let me put this in a different color. So E to F to B. Yes, that's terrible. So this angle measurement right here. Okay, yes, that's terrible. So I will erase. Okay. So angle E to F to B is this angle measurement right here. Okay. Well, let's just do some thinking and discussion here. If this angle right here, ABC, is 161 degrees, the angle that's directly across from it, the vertical angle, so angle BDF, this angle here is also 161 degrees because vertical angles are congruent, meaning exactly the same. So if this angle is 161 degrees, now what we're looking at, we need the angle measurement for right here for this one right here, this angle measurement. Okay, we are looking at the inside of the parallel lines, the interior. And this angle here and this angle here, they happen to be on opposite sides of our transversal. And now this tells us that if we are looking at the interior of parallel lines, the inside, and the angles are on opposite sides of the transversal, so this one is below the transversal, this is above the transversal, that those angle measurements are also congruent. So that means that E to F to B, right here, this is also 161 degrees. There are other ways that you can figure out the angle measurements. So if you figured it out using a different method, totally fine, totally. Explain how you know, so you can type your explanation in there. Okay, because you might have a different explanation than I do. Number 3, the angle measurement of H to F to G. So H to F to G. Well, H to F to G, that is vertical to this angle right here. These angles are vertical. Okay, that's terrible. But so this angle measurement is the same as this. So H, F, and G are also measure 161 degrees. Okay, and the explain how you know, there is another way to get to that 161 degrees. So I use the vertical angles method. Maybe you used something different, and that's fine. So that's why I'm not going to type that in there, because there's different ways. All right, and okay. Down here, our last one, number 11, for each triangle, find the missing angle measurement. Now, just a reminder in case you have forgotten, okay, I am actually going to see if I can use this for just a second. Xbox. Let's see. Reminder, the interior angle measurement for any triangle, doesn't matter how big, small, wonky looking, whatever, the interior, inside, angle measurement for all, any and all, any and all triangles adds up to 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So it doesn't matter how funky looking it is, doesn't matter if it's pretty or not, doesn't matter. If you have an interior angle measurement, how can I get that? Okay, it's not letting me move that right now, so I'll figure that out later. If you know that everything adds up to be 180 degrees, well, then we can use that information to figure out if we have anything missing. So in figure 1, our triangle, we have 3 angles. We have a 70-degree angle, a 39-degree angle, and then we need to use the information to figure out angle P. So what we do, I'm going to grab my handy-dandy calculator. Okay, so if I have a 70-degree angle and a 39-degree angle, that equals 109 degrees so far. There's 180 degrees in a triangle, in any triangle, and if I subtract the angles I know, well, then that other angle has to equal 71 degrees. Okay. Figure 2 right here, once again, get my calculator. I have a 58-degree angle and a 91-degree angle. So when I add 58 and 91, it equals 149. Well, all the angles in a triangle add up to be 180. So if 2 of the angles add up to be 149 degrees, that means that third angle, that remaining angle, needs to be 31 degrees. And I'm sure you can figure that out with the third triangle and the fourth triangle, and then use the how did I do button to see if you got that correct. Use your calculator, folks. That's what it's there for.